I'm Jesse Pimpinella, and this is The Hot Mess. Welcome to the show. This is the first episode, and this show is based on one thing, being a hot mess, and the extraordinary people that are hot messes that still get shit done no matter what. Today, I have a fantastic friend of mine, as well as in comedy, who I believe expresses, no matter what chaos he is dealing with, he is still making magic all the time. So please give it up for my good friend, Mr. Matt Onesti, everybody. Matt, come on out, man. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good. Thank you. I'm ready to get messy. I want things to get very, very, very messy here today.
That's good. For those that don't know, Matt is a dear friend of mine. We started in comedy together. This guy has also produced both of my comedy specials, Hot Mess and Spooky. Spooky, which is now being streamed on multiple platforms, Fossum, Relay, as well as Slash TV. See how that's how awful I am. I'm like, gotta get the names right.
I feel like we tell this story all the time, but you fucking hated me when we first met each other.
I absolutely did hate you. And it's so crazy that you talk about, because now you're making it my hot mess moment here. But I guess
it was sweet because it was like every comedian you should meet in a contest where it is just audience votes, where you just have to fill the audience. And I brought too many people, crushed in front of my own crowd, beat Jesse like my first time doing comedy, or no?
Oh my god, yeah, no. I guess
it was the finals, right? Or was it? Yeah,
it was the finals. Yeah, so we did a comedy contest. You beat me. It pissed me off, but you were really funny, and I really hated that about you. And I didn't talk to you for like 2 years. And anytime I did talk about you, I was like, "Fuck that guy, man. Fuck him." And then but then we started hanging out, and I'm like, "Man, I'm such an asshole." And then I think that it's that, you watch those old stupid football shows where the two you know what it is? It's Top Gun. It's Top Gun. Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise. That's what it was. I don't know who's who here, but we were that way with each other. It took to the end of the movie for us to look at each other and be like, "You could ride my tail any day." That's what it took. All right.
I love riding your tail. Every single chance that I get, I love when you ride your tail. I can get up on that.
But that's so crazy you brought that up, that our friendship started with a strong dislike I had towards you.
Which, think about how crazy this is. And then all these years later, we find out that we're legitimately related.
Which is insane.
Yeah, through I don't know, what is it, third cousins or whatever?
Youngstown ancestry, honestly. That's
one of those things to where we were cousins and we didn't know it, and we just competitive spirit. Just
competitive spirit.
That's pretty much how the mafia worked. It was
we literally went from you were my enemy. You were my enemy, then went to friends, now to partners in a business, and then now family. That is crazy. I mean, that's just, I don't know what to do. That blows my mind to this day that was the case with you and me.
And then one of us gets shot in a restaurant, and the other has to live in Italy for at least 2 years.
And then my secret wife dies, and I just don't tell Diane Keaton about it ever. And then I give her one chance to ask me about my business, and then after that, never again she will ask. I love that this whole episode is now just slowly Godfather. It's just slowly a Godfather episode. But I think that's the greatest way for this show to start as a pilot. We go into Godfather because we are both from Youngstown, which historically has mob ties and everything. It was the newspaper, our local newspaper, The Vindicator, was the newspaper that Henry Hill picks up at the end of Goodfellas. I mean, that's how tied it is. I mean, if you really want a good mafia history, look up Youngstown and everything that went on.
But also, once you know about Youngstown, it then becomes a weird place for the FBI to send somebody for safety.
It is. It kind of is, yeah. But also, you think Henry Hill would have went to a Bellaria Pizza to watch us do stand-up? Which is what we did. We started doing stand-up comedy in the back of a Bellaria. If that's not full-blood Italian Youngstown style, I don't know what is. All right, I don't know. But yeah, no, that was my hot mess moment. If I had to admit one to you, I was jealous. I was embarrassed. You were just a great comic, man. And please make sure you guys check out Matt's special. Matt, where is your special currently streaming right now?
Well, special's currently on YouTube. What we shot in 2019. And then we got the album version of Madonessi's Uncomfortable on all of the music platforms.
All the music platforms.
At least iTunes, Amazon, and Spotify. At least those three. I don't really
all the oligarchy platforms. All right.
Yeah,
all the oligarchy.
Yeah, just I wanted to bring this out on Hot Mess that I am just really, really pro oligarchy now.
Yeah. If that CEO was at the inauguration, that's where your special's playing right now. I mean, honestly, that's kind of a factual thing. I mean, even I have to admit to that. You know
but
it's
a good thing. It's where power comes from. We're trying to concentrate power. And it's sort of this idea that you can create rebellion through art, which you can, but like also sometimes you can't. But hey, oligarch's sick. I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah. Oligarch sick. That should be a good shirt. Oligarch sick.
Oligarch is sick. Oligarch sick with a fucking like apostrophe S. Because then there is a generational gap though that you could get into trouble where like people read that and they're like, oh oligarchy's sick, man. Or there's some people who are gonna be like, oh, you think oligarchies are like sick as in like a derogatory bad thing? And then you have to explain it in 90s skateboarder and 80s snowboarder terms, which that never goes well. But it does.
No, it never does.
It does make for fun language skills because I got to fuck with a, I don't know, dude in the 60s. When we were making Charlie Kirk. Well, I'm not gonna say we were.
My God, no! I was making. It is 6 minutes into my pilot episode. Could you do nothing? Can you just please not get me canceled? Don't get this show canceled in the first go, or get me canceled because as a dear friend of ours used to say, cancel me. I could use the press. I mean, that's the other aspect of that whole aspect.
We also have like this beautiful, I guess it would be like a comedy suicide pact where it's like if any one of us want out of this game at any point, we know that we could just leak pieces of the group chat and we'll just get.
My God!
We'll get a nice release from having to be the artist. That's all you got to do. It's beautiful. It's one of those that comedians can set up with each other.
I am ready to destroy my phone at a moment's notice. Like, I know it's in the cloud still, but like, dude, some of the jokes we have. And here's the thing: I know the NSA has read our shit, and I like to think that the NSA, like anytime they get an alert, everybody goes around our NSA agent's computer and they'll be like, guys, this group chat is fire. And they are all laughing. If anything, we're performing for the troops. It's just the NSA agents. I mean, technically, we have done so many USO tours in our cell phone. And I like to think that was the most patriotic thing. So every time the dirtiest jokes that we put out there, the most offensive jokes, the HR jokes, I mean, that's just us performing for the troops. And I mean, what's more patriotic? Really? All right. If you don't want to make the offensive joke, then you don't like America. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. I'm going to let it go. Sorry. I'm going to be crashing out.
Why are you not the one who's writing the press releases? Like for the, like, how the Republicans just had their text for like the staffers and like, there's like one dude like a state senator. Like they had their.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like their shit got released because somebody probably had the same pack and they were like, fuck it. I want out of this. I'm releasing whatever the fuck Eddie said last week and we're just done here.
Dude,
we're going home.
The best way to describe a group chat, in my opinion, it's like that scene in Reservoir Dogs where everybody has a gun drawn on each other. Like that's the best way. That's the group chat. That's what. If anybody wants to know what's it like to be in the group chat, it's that. It's a Mexican standoff. Everybody's got guns on each other, and the slight flinch, everything can go away in a second. Like that's what a group chat is. All right, but anyways, so I want to talk about some couple things that happened in our group chat lately. One of the things that we talked about is that your dog, Butters, he has successfully kind of won No Nut November. Can you talk No Nut November for those who don't know? You might be an Amish person on Runspringa and you're watching the show for the first time. It's where you try not to nut for a whole entire month. Now, talk to me about Butters. Why did he win No Nut November? Can you explain that?
how to give them the old snip that you give to dogs. You know, the old. I listen to Bob Barker. I really just whatever Bob Barker says, I listen to, and
train with Chuck Norris in your garage.
We just sort of snipped them off, and it's a really ridiculous concept when you think about it. You know what we do to, but what I don't mean like what we do to them, like there's like people who like treat dogs like they're actual like kids, or they say like these this is just as hard as taking care of a kid, or like this is like this is really preparing me to take care of a kid. But it's like I brought my dog in after like a major medical surgery, put him in the backseat of my car, and it was like I got to say out loud to him, you motherfucker, you are destroying my bank account. You goddamn son of a bitch. Like, why? You can't say that to a kid.
You can't. You can crash out on a dog so much.
Yeah.
And it's
they have no idea what's going on. Like they just think like just as long as you understand, like you can change your inflection sometimes.
Oh my God, yeah.
You're hanging out with, you'd be like, "Oh, you little motherfucker, and they're happy as shit. You can't do that to a kid. You go fucking do even if you have a baby who can't comprehend anything that's going on, like even just the risk of that getting picked up on the baby monitor and someone here and you go,
"Oh my God,
you motherfucker, son of a bitch!" Like you're going to jail.
I've said, okay, what's the worst thing you've ever said to your dog? I will tell you what mine is real quickly. I literally came back after bombing 2 shows in one weekend. I got home, briefcase and everything. My dog ran up to me. I'm like, "Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Who's going to swallow a Drano tonight because he can't fucking tell a joke to make anybody laugh? That's Daddy. Daddy's going to do that. Daddy's going to do that." Like, and she's like all happy listening to me admit I'm going to swallow Drano if I can't get a single laugh next show. Like, but it's like, what's something you've said that was like, "Oh shit, this would scar a baby"?
Oh my God, what would scar a baby? Well, I mean, just fucking. Jesus, I'm still thinking about what you said. God damn.
Dude, my dog has heard me talk about 13 Reasons Why myself a lot. Like my dog, it's like she's just like, "Oh, is he gonna do it?" Like I think my dog's like, "Come on, do it, pussy." Like that's where she's. I think my dog is at the point where she's like, it's a cry for help now. Come on. Either do it or don't. Shit or get off the box.
Put up or shut up. Come on. No, at the very least, we have talked a little bit that we do have. He is allowed to eat me. If I'm dead on the ground, we have a pact together that he can eat me as an animal and just get rid of the body. Like I don't want to deal with like. I don't want to be cremated. I don't want to just let the boy eat me over like a course of a couple of weeks.
That's actually really thoughtful. Like in the event that like no one was around, like you're keeping the dog alive for a little bit. Like there's a little bit of love there. This is kind of like those athletes that went down in the airplane in the mountains or some shit, and they had the Donner Party each other. Like you're actually kind of putting out some loving vibes here,
right? Like because that's the difference in a dog. Like obviously I'm not going to leave myself for my kid if I'm dead. Like the kid's not going to know what to do with me if I die in front of my baby, whether it's suicide or just a really rough pneumonia. Like he's not going to know that he can just eat me, right? Like he can sustain himself for a couple of weeks. Yeah, but the dog has a really, really natural instinct to that. So maybe dogs are better. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Maybe that cats don't need you to have that conversation. Cats will just do it. Like, dude, they've been known to do it. It's so crazy. Like you hear these crime investigation stories where the cats are like they find the cat on the owner after they had died and they're just chowing down. Like you don't like dogs. Like you always see those videos where like the dog, like an old person has died and the dog is like cuddling by the grave tomb, like, and it's the sweetest thing in the world. It breaks your heart. But a cat would be like digging it up because he's like, I got to get that third left. I got to get that eyeball. I got to get that eyeball. That right eyeball was delicious.
I'm going to take a shit right on this fucking gravestone. Cat will try and eat you while you're still alive.
Cats are like that jaded cop who's like 2 days away from retirement. like they're just kind of pissed off they have to be there for the next couple days, and except the couple days is their whole life with you. That's what it is. But anyways, I bring up the whole butter thing, getting snipped and everything, because my dog Gizmo, he's snipped, but that hasn't stopped him. My dog is monogamous. Let me just play this podcast video. So let's set up. My wife and I were doing a podcast, and now right here in the background, right between me and her, do you see that there's a dog bed? Right? Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so the dog bed's right there. I'm going to press play, and I just want you to really just focus right there. Okay, just focus right there, everybody.
Just doing their lectures, and no one really cares. It's not like on the first movie, everything was huge, and oh god, Gizzy. The background. Gizzy, stop.
No.
Stop. Gizzy. We apologize.
Christ.
Here's the part I need you to pay attention to. Okay, this is how much Gizzy's a wild man, okay? He stands up at one point. He goes on 2 feet and holds his head up, humping this monkey. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to try to zoom. No, I'm going to watch again. I want you to see what I put up with these dogs, okay? I put up with a lot with them. Okay, right.
He's
here.
zooming in.
All right, here we go. Watch.
He gave the lift and leave, and he was done.
He gave it the lift and leave. Dude, this dog is out of his mind, man. So I guess
they're obsessed. They're perverts. Little Harvey Weinstein dog.
Yeah. So that's why, just to go back to your point, why dogs can't be like kids. All right, because your kid has never tried to fuck something in the middle of your podcast. That's just the way it is. That's that right there. That's all you need to know. That's my whole thing. But let's get into it. I want to get into the mess right now. I want to address the mess, man. This is why like when we're in the car, anytime comics, we're all in the car, we always get into deep conversations on 3-hour plus drives. And this is what that podcast is about. I want to bring that energy to it. So Matt, what would you say is your biggest hot mess moment? Like your moment where you were like, fuck, I need to take a step back. I need to reel this fucking in. I'm all over the place. I'm scattered. Like everything's just kind of going to hell. Like what would you say? It could be in your career, it could be in your life, it could be anything.
Oh shit. Well, career where it's like, oh fuck, what are we doing here? Was when Zach Hudak got in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette for doing blackface.
So you want to talk about the moment that almost ruined your career? You want to go right? You want to go right to that?
Yeah. So those are practically the same thing. I heard. I kind of heard a little bit of all of it in there because I mean that's kind of a moment where you realize like what guilty by association really means, right?
So let's set the story up real quickly, just so people who don't know. Yeah. So Zach Hudak was a comedian. He's no longer on this moral coil. And he was very generous to you, very kind, very helpful to you, because at the time you were starting out, you were getting on the road, but obviously with the wheelchair and everything and getting into the van and setting up the stage, off stage, on stage. And he helped you with that all. Like I can't take that away. Yeah. But at the same time, on the other side of this coin, all right, while everything is clean inside the shoe, on the bottom of the shoe is this massive pile of shit that has been stepped on numerous times and stinks to fucking high hell, and everybody hates it. So why don't you describe it, because you know him best with that?
Oh my God, if an ambulance chaser was a comedian. It was a dude really, really concerned with fame and whatever you need to do to get it. Which sucks because it's something that does infect genuinely nice people. And then, you have somebody who wants to be a shot. Like, it's interesting because it really coincides with like the rise of this right-wing sort of movement that's going on around like, the 2014, 15 going into election season.
Well, that's what I want to get into. What were the problematic things that were the issue? That's what I want to get into.
So one of those things to where it's like starts off as like really fucked up jokes, right? Like these, like we're the most offensive, like we're fun, like if you've already seen the show up to this point, we've already said incredibly fucked up things, right? We try and find punchlines for them. We try and find some sort of sardonic twist that doesn't hopefully punch down at like an already underdog type character or underdog type group. As Carlin famously talked about, like just real standard shit. And this is a dude who just he wanted to be like this Howard Stern offensive, like Jezelnik type comedian, but didn't like writing punchlines. So it was all very mean, right? And pissed off a lot of people, rightfully so. And then it's one of those things to where it's like, oh, you're just trying and fucking up. And then before you know it, you have a person falling into like online right-wing extremism. And it just really starts to turn into real hate and vitriol. Like,
yes. In the moment that I think I blew us all away. And I guess like, that's kind of sometimes like, I always put it to like that the finale, the almost finale of Peacemaker, where like he finally discovers the world he's in is not a good world. Yeah. Like there was a certain blinder that
real naive, like looks over like, oh, there's a big portrait of Hitler on his fucking wall, and it's like I did not see that before.
And that was kind of Zach. Zach kind of kept it down, but he also was kind of showing it. But it was like he played it off like this innocence.
Right? I got to learn. So I think where I do appreciate the relationship is I got to learn about some really fucked up characters in this scene very early, because as he's like getting inundated into this online world, he's telling me about it. And then I'm hearing things about like, oh yeah, I'm trying to go somewhere to go hang out with Milo Yiannopoulos. And I'm like, who's that? And it's like, oh, listen to him on Joe Rogan. This guy's kind of these people are weird. There's something weird going on here. And I'm not a huge fan of what is being talked about and who these questionable characters were. So it's like, as I'm sort of seeing who these people like these, you know what I mean? Like this is where like getting into fights about Roger Stone and shit of like, I think he's I think he's Satan incarnate, and it's met with but so there was always symptoms of it, and I turned into the ignore person of just like, he can fuck up his own life, and I'm never like he can fuck up his life, and I don't ever have to be associated, right? Because it was just like dumb shit among comedians. And then what started to turn into online trolling after this, because then he got into a fucking him and Dave Bracey, he was yelling, he was doing some crazy shit to Dave Bracey on fucking the internet.
It basically the perfect image that he put out there in the world slowly started to unravel, which I think a lot of times it's like getting sick. It happens over time. Oh, yeah. And eventually the symptoms become more noticeable, they become more uglier, and by the time it gets to be the worst, you're kind of hoping like, oh shit, I hope I didn't, come in contact with that in that way. And that's kind of what I felt happened to you when that happened. Like it was just kind of like tied by association.
Well, it was, it was, and I fought it and didn't really understand what it was, because I have a very weird sense of like loyalty, like to a fault of like, if someone's kind or shows me kindness, I like really just am kind of there for it. You know what I mean? Like I am very willing to look beyond shit. It's changing, especially as you get older, and especially as you live through a relationship like that. That's again, the story ends with him thinking that he's doing something funny and trolling, and he does blackface of another comedian, and obviously it's so fucked up and will catch so much attention that his dumbass ends up in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and it's like, holy shit, like, how do you not understand that none of us could ever do shows with you ever again? Like, that's what I'm like, and that I think that's what fucked me up so much is like, I was trying to argue, like I would always try to argue with him from like a human level of like, don't even like you're doing fucked up shit, but it's like you're not even thinking about like anyone around you. And I think I realized it when I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And the response was, well, you get in the press and it's like, you're an asshole. What do you mean? Like all publicity is not good publicity. Like what is wrong with you as a person? And it's a sad one because it's like just by like being dumb and naive, like just by being dumb and naive, you can put yourself into these really, really shitty situations that you can get out of really quickly. And sometimes you just have to believe people when they show you who they are. Like it's one of the most weirdest things. And it sucked that it took something so stupid and so fucking like horrible and deplorable to like cause a jerk realization of like, oh, this is how people lose their entire career. Oh, this is how people fucking throw away like any sort of talent that they could have or don't have. And it sucks. Yeah. That's I don't know, like, and there's a lot of that kind of shit going around. It's sad. It's really, really sad.
And I think what's so interesting the way you're talking about this is that this is an issue that is seen upon many people that are seeing it with families. You know, there's a lot of people that are not talking to their families anymore, not talking to that one uncle at Thanksgiving anymore, not talking to their because of kind of this, they're revealing who they are a little bit. And I think it's hard because like you remember like, oh yeah, that's my uncle who, you know, who used to play catch with me in the backyard. But then what if you find out that same uncle is an extreme racist? Yeah. And it's hard to consolidate these two things where it's like, that was my family. Now it's not my family anymore. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of like people that are no longer in contact with certain parts of the family anymore. People that are not in contact with certain friends they had anymore and that were lifelong because it's like poison, man. It latches onto them, like, and to Zach, like with Zach, like fame got attached to him. Doing anything he wanted to do, no matter who it hurt or what he was doing, was more important than the people around him. And he truly believed that it was fun. It was okay for him to do blackface and really do something hurtful and fucked up to a fellow comic just to advance himself. And in his head, he doesn't think he did anything wrong. He thought like, oh no, I did the right thing. That's what I'm supposed to do as a comic.
Yeah, and it's literally like, I'm doing comedy, and it's like how, and it's crazy because I think and like why this is popping in my mind of like moment that Rouge grew, even though like this is a real specific moment. There was sort of this lead up to this of like, and God, it just is such a lesson that I hate learning the fucking hardware that anyone would not want to, but like sort of just having indifference over an extended period of time of like turning a blind eye to someone being a dick or just like we're dicks, like you and I are dicks, but then we're
dicks to each other all the time. Yeah,
there's being a dick just for the sake of it and like getting off on hurting. And if we are going to hurt, like if we're going to use our creativity to hurt, let's not go after the people who are just not even close to a seat of power. Like it's really, it's just like a really, really easy type of equation. But it's like by showing indifference toward that, I know there was a lot of opportunity that I lost, and it's stuff that I know like I may not get back, and it stinks. Like just by being around somebody, it I don't know, like character is an important thing to protect, and sometimes it takes being around shit stains.
And your
character might get fucked up. And I mean shit that but the Mokumen, it was such a weird one that it like the rollover effect was so like, what the fuck is happening here?
And to set the story, you were in your very late teens, early 20s. You were just getting out of high school, getting into college and stuff like that. You met this guy who was pretty much what in his 30s, 40s, and stuff like that. You know, and it's. I mean, that's how it happens. Like your brain kind of gets. You know, you're taught up into that very age, like your elders and everything, and that's who you talk to.
So here's what's interesting about it is it's not even necessarily a great like. It is an excuse, or it is.
Oh, I'm not making an excuse.
No, I know. Like there is some validity to it, but it's you like know that there's red flags, right? Like even at points, like I could feel there was red flags, even with like Pete. God rest his soul. Pete warned me of the goddamn person, and even like that, I'm like, oh, he's just being a fucking bad comedian. And he's trying to tell me, like, be careful. And I'm just, I don't know, like, and those are even circumstances where it's like, it's tough to know who to listen to and it's tough to know who to take advice from. And that's why you get it.
Well, here's how we rectify this.
There absolutely were like warning signs and people who I do trust and did trust where it was like, oh, you know, it's just fucking good time. And like, it's crazy because then it's almost like I'm choosing fame over that. And that is worthy of getting your career ruined. Like, it's like if your decision is like, I'm just going to do whatever it takes to be famous, like, you're going to fucking trip on your dick and you're going to get your career ruined because you're making morally fucked up decisions.
Yeah. And on top of it, you lose who you are as a person. You lose that piece of humanity that you came into this world with because you lose a piece of your soul because you sacrificed a piece of your soul for something that looked shiny. And some people are willing to pay that soul. They're willing to just give up their soul and take it. And I think it's a dangerous world. Now, one thing I want to ask you, and I ask this to everybody. I ask this to everybody whenever they have these moments where you have this moment where, oh fuck, it's a fork in the road. What would you do if you could go back in time and give yourself a piece of advice? What would you say to a person going through the exact same thing that you went through? What would you say to help them learn something from this all?
You will find more shows, is what I would tell myself, because a lot of the decisions of like putting myself around the dude was mostly out of this place of like, there's work coming from this. There's shows. There's like, I had a significantly higher drive at that point in life of like, this is all really what I want to do in my life. But I was impatient and I wanted to be impatient. And he was offering easy feature spots in bumfuck Pennsylvania for whatever the fuck, right? Like we're gonna come do 25 minutes in Aliquippa. Like, don't get me wrong, like it was cool. Like I tried to do a lot of my special, a lot of Uncomfortable was formed like in some of those rooms, like trying to well, what can I say that either confuses the redneck crowd or maybe gets them to actually see what I'm saying? And I got to experiment with that shit in some of these rooms. So like, I mean, yeah, it was cool, but then also like at a certain point, it's get out of this mentality that there's just going to be no shows that come your way, or there's not going to be any route. Like it's where the mentality came from of like, start your own rooms, just do your own shit, find little places, like just find stuff. Like you don't have to just take everything just because it's being put in front of you, because it might be a poison pill and you're going to shit your pants.
You have to bet on yourself. You really got to. And at the end of the day, I mean, that's the one thing about being a hot mess and all that stuff. We're humans. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to falter. We're going to screw up. We're going to go down the wrong fork in the road at times. I think the most important part, I think what really registers is what we do afterwards. You know, that whole Batman thing, you know, what do we do when we fall? We get back up. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing. And being human and admitting that, hey, this was wrong. This was this was that, and growing from it. I think if you can do that, that is so crucial to becoming a better human being all around. You know what I mean? And I think that's one thing that I wish in society we all were a little bit more about was, hey, admit when you're wrong. Admit when something went bad. Admit when, like, here's the thing. I will admit something right now. I was wrong for hating you. I was wrong for disliking you. I was wrong for being jealous of you, saying, fuck Matt, I hate him, he's not funny, because I was fucking jealous of your talent. I've always been, and I know out of the two of us, you've always been the funnier one, and I will say it on this podcast so everybody can know it. I say it all the time. But yeah, it was. And because I grew from that, I got a friend, I got a brother, I got a cousin, I got somebody that I can rely on when I need to because I decided to grow. And that's what I think is most important. Now, with growing, I know we got really sweet. Am I tearing you shit up? I better know. No fucking tears on this shit.
I love you. I'm gonna rail you so
no
hard.
Fucking tears.
But anyway, I ride your tail so goddamn hard.
All right. Now, exactly. See, here's the thing. If you don't learn from your mistakes or grow from your mistakes, then Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise had never been friends at the end of Top Gun. So everything is Top Gun is what I'm trying to tell you guys. And what I'm trying to say is, there was a goose before. I killed him so then I could be friends with you. Anyways, who messed with his seat? I don't know. Oh, that is so dumb. All right, I ruined a really sweet moment. I don't give a fuck. Now we're going to do something really fun with the show. We talked about what ruined your almost ruined your career. You gave life advice to your past self and to people out there who've been in that same situation, Matt. You're an awesome human being for that. Now what I want you to do is I want you to have a moment of catharsis. I want you to rage against the machine. I want you to enter the crash out couch. The crash out couch is 1 minute uninterrupted where you get to bitch about anything you want and no one can stop you until it's the 61st second. Then I'm going to tell you to shut the fuck up because it's my show. But uninterrupted, 60 seconds. Are you ready, Matt?
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Matt. All right, hold on. I don't have a counter on my hold on. Do I have a counter here? Yes, I got the counter. Ready? Here we go. Ready. And hold on, Matt. I have a whole camera angle for this because I'm so professional. Ready? Go.
I'm crashing out on people with fucking crash out couches. No, I'm crashing out on this idea that like people at some point just do not want to engage and they do not want to try and help anyone other than themselves. And I hate seeing it consistently. That is sort of it's seeped its way into our politics and it's into our society, and we've shelled ourselves off from the fucking community. And I think it's bullshit. And I think it's something that is killing us all and has led us to sort of this fascist bullshit. It's led us to these circumstances to where like we are just looking the other way or allowing ourselves to feel indifference. And it's bullshit because we're not concerned with anything other than ourselves. Focus on the community and be there for the fucking community. Otherwise, we all fucking die.
I loved it. Man. Thank you so much for that. Dude, I felt that, man. I really did feel that because, you know, I think going forward in this world now, I think because of the internet and everything that's going on and the causal effects of the world, we're realizing how much one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, and affects all of us. Yeah, I mean, and there's stuff that I never thought would affect me today, but it affects my wife and affects me, and so it's brilliant.
Like you can root through the bullshit. Like it's easy to root through the bullshit if you can at least be honest that your concern can be beyond yourself. Like it's like you can spot, but it may take a little bit of time, but eventually you'll spot bullshit if you can stay honest in it.
Amen. Well, anyways, Matt, we have only one last thing to do. We've talked about the hot mess that's been within us. Now we're going to talk about the hot mess that is around us. We're going to talk about hot mess headlines, everyone. All right, let's get to it. All right. I got it all, man. Dude. I got this thing planned out. I've been wanting to do this show forever, man. Anyways, I told you we're gonna have fun. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna get emotional and shit. This is like a sleepover. Who knows? We might even kiss each other. Anyways,
please do not fucking pull your wiener out on camera. Okay, that is.
I will not pull my. I won't. Dude, I bring them on a table. I can't. Like I'm. This is a standing desk. I can't pop it up.
That's all Jim Morrison needed was a standing desk, and it would have stopped him from pulling his balls out.
Jesus Christ. All right, so let's talk about a couple of things that blew us away. Here's one for the kids that grew up in the 2000s, man. Dick Cheney passed, man. That blew me away. Dude, I never thought he was going to die. I thought, like, you know that thing that Walt Disney did? Where they decapitated his head and they put it in a frozen vault. I'm not sure if that's real. I that might be one of those little urban legends that I totally fell for. All right. But like, I think that he would be that guy. And then he would come back when they can design the body for him to live off of. You know what I mean?
Well, he was done. He was so fucking pissed off that like his 50 years of just trying to rat fuck the democracy for his own personal wealth and his family's wealth and the wealth of Halliburton, all that, you know, I started a fucking 20-year war for nothing, and all these people fucking died, and then fucking the monster got loose, and now I'm fucking even out of it. Like, and he got to just watch it all crumble in front of him, and it's just he shot a guy like at one point who.
And he apologized
with Anthony with fucking Scalia, like him, Scalia, and this other dude who was like a lawyer and what like a part of the fucking political sphere. Like what were they talking about? I don't know.
It's dude, it's crazy. I tell people watch Vice because I have like such an interesting look at what it like. Adam McKay went from being the guy who made Anchorman to now like almost a historian in a manner. I mean, just kind of like teaching us about history.
Vice is up there in like one of my favorite political movies. I think it's a really, really awesome, I think it's a really awesome piece that is very clearly rooted in readings. Adam McKay talks about them extensively. It's a really cool piece that handles what we know and what we don't know with grace, right? Like it's easy to get the primary source stuff factual and think of like some odds and ends like that. But then like these conversations that like we would never know how this went with Dick and his wife when he was deciding.
Oh my God, I love that scene.
Am I gonna go, you know, am I gonna go be the scariest vice president to ever fucking live? You know, they're doing fucking Shakespeare. Like they're fucking reading Shakespeare. I drawing a blank because I'm fucking dumb as shit on what it was from Shakespeare. But they're doing.
I think it was. God, I'm trying to remember what it was, but yeah, but it was brilliant. It was a brilliant movie. I tell people to watch that. Like it just kind of gives you a crazy, but like a lot of stuff that started with that is now happening today. Like the unitary executive theory, like it has been expanded upon so much, and now we're kind of like you basically, in other words. It's like, imagine if a baby was said to be the Antichrist, all right, and it was born in the mid-2000s. Now we're seeing a 20-year-old, all right, and it is cognitive. It understands what it's doing, and that's kind of the machine that was created. That was the Frankenstein monster that is what we're going through today, because, like, we're seeing a lot of stuff where the checks and balances are kind of gone, you know what I mean, lad? Like let me put it this way.
There's nothing to hold it together anymore. The glue has come off.
Like right now,
like real quick, wait, just to put a cap on that. Just real quick to put a cap on Dick Cheney.
I had a good transition.
You're gonna get to hit it, but just to put a cap on it, we're so fucked that this man who we're clowning as a genuinely giant piece of shit on the global scale, ultimately was endorsing the Kamala Harris and the The woman.
Oh yeah.
Like the Cheneys, that's where we got to in this shit sandwich that we for some reason didn't think was a shit sandwich. It's like
it's the scene.
doing ad reads for Kamala Harris, and we're all just like, this is fucking normal. What's happening? Why wouldn't Dick Cheney do that? Like this is the guy who like loves waterboarding a lot. Like that's like his thing.
No, it was the scene where Darth Vader throws Palpatine over the ledge. You know what I mean? That's what it was, except he didn't get Palpatine over the ledge. That's the only difference in our reality. You know what I mean? In this case, Vader dies, and that's it. But anyways, that's a whole Star Wars discussion we could talk about, and I'm not going to get into it because Disney ruined that bullshit for me. Anyways, but like I said, we're things are getting so crazy nowadays that now we have, and again, I've read up on this. I got to read more about this. Right now, a sandwich was thrown at an ice agent, and now they're saying that the throwing of the sandwich is a form of, from what I read, and I could be wrong, correct me. Okay, that's what the comment section is for. That and calling me fat. It basically, that's what the comment section is for. And it's like a form of freedom of speech to throw a sandwich at somebody, which is very interesting. It's a very interesting. I want to know like where that was built in, but like I loved reading the testimony of this agent. He's like, I was hit by this sandwich, and it hit me so hard I could feel it through my vest. An explosion of mustard and onions was just all over me, and I'm like, dude. Nut the fuck up, man. You got a sandwich thrown at you. Like, dude.
He like sounds like he's having a Vietnam flashback. There was so much it was coming out of the trees, and when there was tomatoes falling all over me. I haven't seen anything like it since.
Dude, it was just like I don't know, like, dude, it's crazy, man. It's like I can't and it sucks because I have a bunch of businesses that are nearby where I am downtown, and it's beautiful. They're immigrant owned, ran, employees are there, and they run and do best pizza in Columbus, hands down, no debate, no fucking debate. Pizza in Columbus is trash, and this business, I don't want to say the business out loud because God forbid, you know. The two people listening, one of them is, you know, a weekend warrior ice age. And he's like, okay, thanks for giving me the tip, Jesse. But this one place, they make the greatest pizza. And they're the nicest human beings in the world. They're very super sweet, very kind. And it's like they're a huge part of our neighborhood, of our society, of our community. And it's like they're fearing every day. They have their cards on them, like to know what their rights are and everything. And it sucks to go in and see how scared they are. It fucking sucks. And I hate that. I can't even imagine what they're going through.
We're accepting a society where we don't have due process. And
that's the thing, yeah.
That's the thing what my crash out also could have been about too, is sort of like how irresponsible of a human being are you, or like the royal you, not you specifically, Jesse, but I do.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
I do know you do not care about due process. That is one thing I do know deeply about you. But if you don't care about it, like what the fuck?
Thanks for putting that out there. I didn't know we were starting rumors about each other on this show. If I'd known that, I would have been starting so many shit rumors about you.
Take that out of context. When we run for office, or when you run for office. There is a perfect clip right there where it's Jesse, I know that you don't believe in due process, but
so glad you got off that murder mat that no one talks about. So glad. The one that was paid off and the records were sealed. So glad you got away with that murder mat.
Right over the bridge. You went right over the bridge.
If we're starting rumors, I'm starting rumors about you. Okay.
In this scenario, just as long as my nephew becomes the Health and Human Services Secretary and denies all of our children vaccines, then I will be happy.
My God, Jesus fucking Christ.
No, because
anyways,
listen, it is throwing a sandwich in an ice age is 100% a form of free speech, because if we're going to give up, if we're going to change what due process means, then we can add hilarious violence into the equation. Like, you can commit acts of violence, but it has to be funny. And we have to set the standard for funny because we don't have that on the Supreme Court level right now. Like,
I got it.
The insanity test, but we don't have the what's funny test.
I got the test. If it's a Three Stooges gag that can't draw blood, then it's okay. If it can't cause injury, it's okay. So that means like you can get the seltzer bottle and hit somebody with it, and as long as it's only water and it's okay, it's fine. You know what I mean? Like like we have that flower, the clown flower where you squirt water from that.
Yeah.
Like you can hit somebody with that real quick.
So if I slap you with bologna, that's funny, right? Like that's
funny.
Hilarious.
That's funny.
You cannot be hurt getting slapped by a sandwich. Like it's really hard.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I mean, again, Three Stooges thing, you can't do the eye poke. That would be bodily harm. So that you can't do that. So it has to be silly, clowny, Three Stooges stuff. What would you say? Kick me sign on the back of them. You put a kick me sign on the back.
Kick me sign is interesting because it would be like because you can't if you. I guess if you do kick the ICE agent, then you
don't kick the ICE agent. You don't. You put the sign on them and you let nature happen.
But then whoever does kick, because like when you see a kick me sign that you didn't put on there, I can't kick. I'm
also hoping that the ICE agents are dumb enough to start kicking each other.
You know what? If they can read what the sign says, they might kick each other. But that's one of the biggest deficits that we're going to have in this conversation.
That's right.
It's unfortunately it's a tough one to sound out.
The ICE agents are just basically the kids that got left behind in the Bush administration, and now they're grown up and they have nowhere in society to go, and now they're doing this. Got it. Makes sense.
These are the kids that should have been left behind. They were the kids that they were the kids that. They were the kids that the highway state patrolmen were like, no, we have enough. Yeah. These are the ones where they're like, you should not be given a gun and a badge. And then the administration was like, we're going to give you a gun and a badge. And you don't have to show anyone that badge.
Dude, did you hear the rumor of there's a bunch of women that are solely dating ICE agents so that they can take pictures of their face and put and identify them?
The future is amazing. This is how we win.
I love how it's like because like remember like it's like kind of like the burn book from Mean Girls, but like used for good. And then like if someone Regina Georges and throws everything out, like here's an ICE agent, there's an ICE agent. That's all it is. It's Mean Girls. Basically, the plastics are saving the day.
Oh my god, we're gonna get.
That's it.
Oh god, the fucking ICE. We're gonna have to give the ICE agents chlamydia. I guess we're just.
All right, we're gonna end it on that. Giving the ICE agents chlamydia. I think that's.
I took a second to realize. I had to think for a second and think: if saying we're gonna give ICE agents chlamydia, is that going to wind a person up in jail? Who knows?
That would fill the Three Stooges test because I assume if Mo gave Shemp chlamydia, number one, that's incest because they're actual blood brothers, and number two, I would say that's jail. That's jail time. So see if that fills the three. See, look at this Three Stooges rule. It's working very well already.
We have practiced this. We've put it into precedent. Now we need to get Clarence Thomas on the line and give them as much money. We need to get an RV to him. We need to get beers to Brett Kavanaugh.
That's it. And then if we bribe enough justices, we're going to get the Three Stooges test past it in front of Supreme Court, and that's what we're going to be known for. All right? That's it. That's it. It's going to be the Jesse Pimpinella Stooges test. That's it. I'm ready to make history if you are. Okay?
I'll see you in Guantanamo.
I'll see you in Guantanamo as well. But anyways, Matt, it was so great to have you on the show, man. Such a fucking blast. I'm so glad that I got to do a pilot episode with you. We grew a lot. We learned a lot. We had a lot of emotional moments. But now it's the end of the show. But anyways, I want to thank you so much. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow Matt. Check out his comedy special. Again, Matt, can you plug that again for me?
Matt Ornesti's Uncomfortable. It's on YouTube, and the album is on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon Music.
There you have it right there. So go and check it out. Enjoy it. Make sure you catch him live wherever he is. So keep an eye on his socials and follow him along. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I'm Jesse, and this has been The Hot Mess. You guys are awesome. Take care. We'll